You must check if you are financially stable. And all this will do it on the road. So that is what the guy was called me
Great and beautiful morning and afternoon, evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 522 edition of Invest Data Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, I'll say that the global market as we speak is still very, very dicey. We are seeing a mixed market as what is happening in Middle East is affecting market sentiment all over the world. But I believe that as a trader or investor in any domain where you're operating, either in Asia, in Europe, or in US, you need to understand the territory and look at those fundamentals before you start buying into any position. But good thing is that all the G7 leaders are doing to broker peace, even Russia, China, and also US. Fine, we have not seen the impact now, but I tell you that the extent of this tension and also this war has gone. I think many investors are thinking this is the time to go for risk-free instrument or to still remain in equity. But I believe that for investors that are in this environment, you need to understand how to play the market. But at looking at the Asia market right now, the Asia market is also on the rise, which is also a good thing for those in that domain. Despite the tension across the Middle East, we are seeing that markets over there are still looking up in Asia, which is also a good news for players in that environment. But one thing is very, very obvious for investors to always have at the back of their mind. Knowing what is happening and also reading out the direction and also trading your own plan is very, very important. That is why, like I always emphasize in this class, that that having a investment objective and also having your trading plan is very, very important. That is why it's part of our discussion today. How to run with your trading plan. I'm talking numbers on Conoil and Sterling bank numbers. Once you understand all this, it will help you to make what informed investment decision. But if you look at, I said earlier that Asia stock is on the rise. For me, it's a plus for those in that environment. And also, today being the last trading day of the week, and also that the president of US has also postponed a decision on US involvement in Israel and Iran war by 2 weeks, offering the market some also mid-term worth relief. But I believe that this the war giant we call them Russia, China, and US watching the Booker piece is a good one, not involving themselves also. But I think that this was the market relief that we are seeing that the Asia market is up. But in Japan, like I said, the the hot consumer data, and also the kind of the hawkish move of the Bank of England is also expected because of when you see central bank moving toward to high rate as a result of what rising inflation, and that's why I'm not surprised that we're saying that the Japan central bank is also looking how to also adjust kind of a high rate to to kind of checkmate the recent increase in rate in wages that they were giving to their citizens. And these are part of what's also playing out in that environment. But like I said, Japan, index is in the red as a lot of what hot, consumer figure that also further, push a rate hike in that domain. And that's why you're seeing the market there is now as we speak. That's one thing that you have in mind that whenever there's rate hike in any market, there's always the word a kind of flow of one out of what equity toward to other safe investment. These are things that we have. But in that area, we can see that Asia, now we see that tech companies are advancing in there, and also others also, know, following what we have seen in tech companies in other domain, and that is a good thing. Like Hong Kong market now, I see that this is all by world by 0.8, like I told you earlier, and South Korea also jumped by 1.1 as we speak now, and that is that this is the highest since what early 2022 in that market, and this was a lot of what this postponement of U.S. involvement in what's happening also have boosted the confidence, and also expecting that U.S. Chinese market considering what is happening, if they are able to tie up the U.S. on their tariff, that was expected. But I believe that White House also on Thursday that Trump had decided not to just to join the war, within to with the good like I've said at the earlier beginning of this talk, and also holding on forward for nuclear talks with other people. These are the things that we expect that to also impact the market. The main China index we call a CXI 300 and the Shanghai component also up respectively also at this hour. But we are expecting that the oil price that also that does slide down marginally as the profit taking. But I tell you, because of the war, oil price has hit as high as almost 77.64 dollar recently, but just slow down slightly at this hour. Still watching to see how this will play out going into the future. These are the things we're also expecting that also further guide the market as we speak. But I believe that the investors are not sleeping, expecting that this also help them to take the right decision at the right time. But I believe that once that is achieved, the investor will now know the right point or the right direction to go with their investment. There's no cause for alarm for me. Let us keep our finger crossed and invest what intelligently. That is the only way we can stay ahead of the market if you really want to make money in this market as we speak now. I believe that as a trader investor, take advantage of whatever that is happening across the globe, and also looking at your domain, the economy where you are investing, understand the fundamental, the economic trajectory, where is it going. Once you go to pinpoint where the economy is going, don't forget that every investment is again the future, and be able to understand where the economy is going, it helps you to form and also know the sector that's driving the economic growth or economic that you are seeing. That sector is where you should also put in your money. I believe that this also guide us, even if you are investing in Asia, as I said earlier, in Europe or also in the US, let these factors guide you so that at the end of the day, you're able to make what informed investment decision. Here, I can tell you that the Nigerian market right now, we are seeing profit taking activities gradually coming after the market have rallied, all this while to a new all-time high. And we are not surprised seeing that trend happening right now in Nigerian market because it's expected that market also correct. But I believe that when the market pull back, like I always say, to gather more strength to surpass where it's coming from, and that is the way it should be, as an investor. But looking at also US market right now is flat. No, I will tell you, US market is flat. Hoping and seeing that what will happen because of what the conflict and like I said earlier in Iraq and Israel. And White House also knowing that Trump has said, okay, we won't join the war now. We have to give to that twist to watch the tariff. And also don't forget that US men are also at the front runner in that ground. Also, let's see how it goes. But I think the news that they are not joining now has also supported the market to what we are seeing. I believe that the investors should take advantage of what is happening right now to make what decision and buy into value, and that is how to also to stay also in value. But I believe that a little pullback in any market, either US, China, it's not, or in Europe, it's not for you to panic. For rather, we are already approaching the end of the first half of the year. That means this is the second quarter. We are already in the last month of the quarter. Don't forget what we call window dressing in equity investment or in trading. Most companies that have good fundamental would like to close the market higher. And for me, it has to be the, and also by the month of July, we expect to see all these company earnings coming to the market to tell you what the company have done for the last 90 days. Is it a company that you should hold? Is it a company that you should sell off? These are the things that should guide investors. That means as you are seeing all this data coming, for you to interpret the data and make what informed decision that will make the difference in the market right now. And that's why I encourage everyone in this platform that you don't panic when others are panicking. Rather, you make what info. That's why essence of knowledge, so that at the end of the day, your investment also heed what's expected, and you also be smiling to the bank at the end of the day. Even now, you can see if you look at the chart that display now, I see that our market is trying to hold on at this point after rally, what we call in technical analysis, a double top. Say that the market is not waiting for another trigger, and I'm not surprised. But today being Friday again, expect also to pull back. For me, there's no cause for alarm across the globe. Yes, the world is threatened, the world is threatened, but your investment decision is that guide and know where to be. And I believe that both China and US and Russia will not allow this to escalate to war. It's a fourth world war, third world war. I don't believe they will allow it. And for that, always invest where you know that you understand what is happening in that terrain, and also take what wise definition. I've said earlier that oil price does go down. You see a slide now. It's following the White House comment, and also this fear that America will join the war, because they say they've seen that yes, America is not joining. We can see that the early spike we saw on Thursday on crude oil price has also trading volume also has also tightened. For me, I believe that let's watch and see what will happen today at the end of the day. On that note, let's go and see what is happening in terms of your trading plan. Your trading plan is very, very important. Like I said, how to run with your trading plan. That is the topic of today. How to run with your trading plan. Any trader or investor in any market, if you really want to invest with confidence, you must have a trading plan. And that trading plan will be able to understand what you are to achieve in market and also make things clearer for you. But if you are following bad wagon because others are applying and you'll be making mistakes. Until you have, I want to achieve this in this market, it is source of my fund. That will help you to plan effectively. And also, you follow your plan. Because you're following your plan, you already want to have a strategy. Because once you implement your plan and it's working effectively, it giving you money as expected. Okay, give me money as expected. They'll give you money as expected. That will also guide you to know exactly what to do as a trader or investor. For me, I believe that plan is very, very important. Strategy is very important, and that is why I always emphasize on it. If you remember that I don't do it before, because that is the only way you can make money in the market. Because as a trader, that is the real strength you have. Because if you don't have that, I'll tell you, you'll be jumping up and down by the market. But if you have a plan, you also know how to stop your loss, how to know your profit target, how to start working for you. But when you don't have a process, when you don't have a plan, you'll be guessing, you'll be thrown up and down by the market. But once you have a plan, a stated plan, and now a strategy, you can now run with ease. Then that means that rule of trading will become easier for you, because you are not guessing at that particular time. At that time, you know why you are buying stock. You also know, okay, if your plan already match your target, you understand that. You also know the kind of position you should take. And things are changing now. Also, you want to change your plan. You will know that, because when you see that, yes, when things are changing, and you also like to change your plan, that's why you must measure also the phases. You review your plan and also to know exactly where you stand in that plan and what the plan is also giving to you. Because you know that you are there to work to achieve, to make money. You are there to better your portfolio, to create value for it, and that's why you must follow that process, because that is the only way to also to test your plan. And now that you have tested your plan, you have overworked enough to trade, enough you know when not to enter. These are how investor can move to the next level, or trader can move to the next level. By guessing, you are just shooting yourself at your feet. But once you have a plan and follow that plan, I tell you, you go far with your plan. But when you don't have plan at all, it becomes a problem for you at any given market situation. Yes, quick one. We'll quickly go to see talking number that is part of our discussion today, and those numbers are the recent Q1 number that was also from Sterling NG, which is also a holding company, and also from Conoil. Conoil has recently released their full year audit account and that of what and their Q1. Do the same thing also for what for SterlingNG of Sterling Financials. No, their full name, code code. But I'll tell you that you need to look at this number to see where this number is telling you. They tell you the strength of this company and also their capacity at this time. You must also have access to it so that you will know, and at the end of the day, you know the action you are taking in that regard, because it's very, very important, as a trader or investor. Just know that all this will help you all to make what informed investment decision. Yes, looking at the numbers, let's start from the one that came from, from the corn oil. That corn oil, yes, in their audited account, and I think for the audited account, we have seen their performance in that audited account. But for this, the 3 months account, the account is below market expectation. Yes, let's quickly go to that number. There's the number, look at the number here. I want to quickly look at so that we can look at it together. If you look at the, this number here, you see this for 2025, first of January to March. Yes, you can see that this number is related. I agree with you, but to give you an insight, even when we have not seen their second quarter result for the first half that we expected to end this month. But looking at this number, there is a decline at the top line also already. And also, if you look at the top line declining, that also reflected on the gross profit declining from from 90.94 billion in 2024 toward 79.26 billion in 2025. At the end of the day, yes, cost of sale also declined. It tells that the volume of business also, or the market or transaction that's of shrinking, decreasing. That is what we have seen, because even at the gross level, gross profit level, also see a decline for 9.28 billion to 5.32 billion at the same time. As the figure is being displayed now. But at the end of the day, every investor, after you are taking your operating costs, you can see that other operating income there's none here. Other operating gains and loss, there's none here. Distribution costs can see it's almost flat or marginally up. But cost of the finance also you can see here, so it jumped up from low of 981.98 million to 2 point something 2.3 billion. You can see it here in this number. But at the end of the day, you can see that there is something that even though the cost of finance and also cost of even the cost of administrative expenses also drop marginally. It's about the real company can see that cost of finance really double, more than triple. I can see it here. For me, it's also a concern for the company. But at the end of the day, you can see that there's a kind of a decline sharply on their profit margin, on profit after tax, from 4 billion to 4.34 billion to 292.05 million. It tells you that this is a really slap. At the end of the day, you can see that the earning per share translate to what, to 42 kobo against 6 naira 26 kobo in the previous year. And this we are not surprised the price going to come down, because when you post market will treat you the way the number is. Yes, earlier we have seen before now first result, there are full year result that came late, which we know that is part of their custom releasing results late to the market. About 3 naira 50 kobo up to 25 kobo at full year dividend, but also will come late. And this number is point where that, and also don't forget that it's a kind of a transformation or a changing, or kind of a wind that's blowing in that downstream in terms of petroleum marketing in Nigeria. Yes, you can see that the bigger moves by bigger companies are there, and we're already seeing the numbers. That's a pointer to investors in this company on what to do, unless there's a kind of a reversal in this number that support a higher payout. Already we have seen that first quarter for the year is already down. And also, if that trajectory is sustained, I would say that means dividend of even 1 naira at the end of this year, or less in between the next second half of the year, there's a turnaround before then. Let's quickly look at the company balance sheet. If you look at the balance sheet, yes, the balance sheet is also not bad. You can see assets has moved from 414 point something billion to 136. Fine, is a good one. And the retained earnings also remain flat for the year under review 2024 and 2023. There you can see it here. Equity, the total equity is still also is still green, positive, fine, but also it was up marginally for the year under review. And for me, or the quarter under review, this also should be also a concern. But that's why that let's look at the operating cash flow, which is also very, very important for me. Operating cash flow here, we are matching it from what for the full year operating cash flow for 2024. If you look at it, look at the net operating cash flow. Net operating for the period is already a negative one for the first quarter of the year. You can see that also send signal. This is not a banking financial company. We also look at it and also give us an insight what we can also expect from this company also. Quickly also look at the sterling, who did the financial sector. We know what is happening today after the CBN want to put an end to forbearance the balance sheet of the banks. Whatever. Yes, we want to look at what is the number coming from this kind of bank. Yes, you can see it's among the second tier bank when we put it there, where others that are moved regularly. You can see the way Women Bank is jumping out from that gradually. You can see already it has successfully moved. But what is Sterling? Sterling is one of the oldest banks in Nigeria. I remember when I joined this financial market, former NAB bank and other stuff. Let's see what is happening. Looking at this number, this is for the first quarter 2025. That was also delayed. If you look at this number, if you look at the top line, fine. There's top line each of looking at all the gross income on the end of the day. It's a good one, move up marginally, but also you can see that the rate of change in their profitability is a good one, from as high as from low as 7.7, low as 7 point something, low as 30 billion on in 2024 March to about 17. That's a good one. But because of share in issue, that it also impacted they impacted their share. The what we call impacted the earning per share. Started when the share issue is relatively small. You can see that at 7.5 billion, about 26 kobo earning per share. Even when it has moved to 17 billion, you can see that it's almost what we say more than 100%, almost 150% growth. You can see that still having 38, but on the strength of the figure we're seeing, it's also portraying kind of also that this bank still remains small. Look at the figure that came from Women Bank. I see that the way Women Bank is going compared to this one, that's why you must also know where to pitch your tent in the market. But for me, this is not a bad number totally, but it shows the size of the company also at the end of the day. But if you go further to see the balance sheet for this bank, the balance sheet is also strong. On their looking at the size where they are operating. But if you look at the size, it's not a total bad one. From 3 of total assets, 3.54 trillion to about 3.6 trillion. For me, it's not a totally bad one. Looking at that figure as we speak. But one thing is that you also want to pay attention to what is the equity position. It's very, very key. Total equity is also looking up. Consider they also increase their share in issue, because of their primary market activities, which also they have not. But if you are factoring more, you are going to see that you're going to see more. This all kind of diluting the earnings of this bank, and not only that, for other banks because of increase, or less the banks were able to double their performance. That was so. If you look at also the cash flow, like we are going to round up this session and look at the chart to call it a day. Look at this the cash flow for this first quarter. Why I'm not looking at their 2024 because they are dividend number. But yes, for Sterling, I'm seeing a thinkable dividend. For that it's already because I tell you that most time fundamentals are past the activity, but it give us inside what to do. That's why I don't want to do it on 24. Already this is the first scorecard for 2025. We're looking at it. If you look at the operating cash flow for this bank, for me, consider it's also a negative. And when for bank, when I see operating cash flow on negative, I don't panic myself because I know that there's activities going up here and there, and that also will tell you where we believe that because being a financial sector, negative of 157.38 billion against the positive fine can be resolved and also improve. But let's wait and see. This has given us insight of what is happening there. It's very, very important as trader and investor. You must pay attention to all this at the end of the day. We look at what is the figures in the market saying. Looking at what the top gainers in this trading for today. I told you earlier that we are seeing a sign of profit taking. The market is a bit quiet, as investors are looking at how to cash the profit from what market have witnessed this period. In the short from week to date. I was speaking about having I believe I mentioned at the beginning 28 gainers and 20 losers right away. And look at those stocks that are topping the gainers, that how far would they go from here? And you can see also new ones coming up. You can see atop the gainer, you can see that Legend Internet is leading, followed by Better Paint. We are seeing Ella League sustaining that momentum at 5 naira 20 kobo. Police microfinance jumping up to 12 naira 12 kobo, 2 naira 12 kobo, sorry. Also the mayor, and these are the top gainers. Losers are NNFF, the Northern Nigeria Flour Mill, is constantly dropping. Also can come below 100 naira, trading at 93 as now. This stock have touched as 1 naira, 435 naira before pulling back. Yes, also I've seen R2 School, I've seen Lasaco and Royal Exchange and custodian investment. These are the top losers right away. But I want to look at what is the chart right now. Is money living in the chart now? I'm not surprised. Being Friday, we expect this kind of activities in the market. But what you do is to pay attention to see what the market will go from here. I'm not surprised. The market has rallied. You can see the movement from here to here. That this is a lot. The market heading for almost 20,000 mark. You can see where market is coming from. This is a long way. But what to look at things that tell us if this trend is still very intact. Call our indicators to tell us if this trend has still intact, so that you will not panic out. Like I always say, rather know when to take a call. If you look at this C line, it's very important to us in this class. Change it to what, to 8. You now know exactly what is happening. But it's about support and return. I see that the C line, where they still far, but it's almost fine direction, but good one. It's still strong, even when we're seeing a kind of a fast situation here because of profit taking and stocks market is watching for the new direction. But any pullback here is for the market to direction. When I said it here, it happened also. It's likely you can see it here. The pullback for a round up. That's how to see a market. Market continues to go up. There's all this kind of oscillation on the uptrend. What happens that look at your T line to see whether the market is still strong. It's very important. Other indicators that want to see whether fund is leaving the market is also very important, because when fund is flowing, when I mean for money flowing to the market is very look at your money flow and also pay attention towards your MACD. MACD is still very positive. You can see it here, trading above the signal line. And money flow that almost touched 65 yesterday at this hour because of this profit taking is adjusting southward marginally to reach around 64 64.13. Yesterday it was above almost the 65.17 yesterday at market close. But this hour is that first loss of profit taking who are not suffered. But this the afternoon, midday, one is the afternoon section as from 1 to market close. I see I think I will change. But for me, you know that you have your plan, you are trading, trade your plan, you know when you are profit, cash out your profit, you know when also you are seeing a stop loss, you know how to cut your loss. That is how to trade. That's why I said at the beginning again that you're trading your plan, how to run with your plan is very important. Don't allow an uptrend to throw you away from your plan, but rather let your plan guide you to make money in that uptrend. Is very important for every investor or trader. Yes, before I call it today, let's look at two stocks that are making wave now in terms of their activities. This Legend, let's see how far it will go. Let's see how far Legend will go. Looking at the stock now, what investors are expecting there. Let's see how far Legend will go. So that as a trader or investor, you should know what you are going to do with that stock. Are it the time for you to take profit? The time for you to quickly jump out of the whole game and also go for where you can make money. You have to also understand that, because it's very important for investors. Once you're able to understand that, that is the only way you can make money in this market. Yes, I say that the site have not recognized this kind. It's not coming up as we speak now. It's not coming up. Let's see. It's not coming up. Nigeria. Let's see. Let me quickly run it here. But the symbol, I put the symbol, but it's not coming up. I'm not sure it's all have been recognized on this platform. Don't forget I say newly listed company. I can see it here. Okay, let's quickly go to the next one there. That's on the top gainers. See what you can see. Better Paint. I'll tell you the result of Better Paint. The result of Better Paint also is a thing that we also look at. and what the trajectory of that stock going, you need to also watch. Japanese Nigeria. It's a stock that you can see the momentum, but one thing is also very important. Look at this day chart. You can see it has gone up, but the kind of almost touching almost 29 was going down at this point. Touch almost 29.40 was still pulling back. Forming that that candlestick will also give us serious concern to see what is happening. It's also very important. That was also guide us at a yes, on the 1 hour chart. You can see what I just said. See the 1 hour chart where it has gotten. You can see between there. You can see that it's oscillating. Was putting like that tested the T line going back here for the stock. Let's keep money flow. That is also very sharp. 93 and MACD have not signed also, but MACD is still very positive. Let's also keep our finger on that stock. It's very important. Yes, finally, before we call it a day, I want to remind you of the coming masterclass that is coming up on the 28th of 28th of June. That is after this Saturday, next Saturday. And I believe that for my team, the discount for payment will stop on the 22nd of this month. You have to take advantage of that. That means today is 20, directly by mobile. Sunday, but from next week, I have to pay the full 100,000 naira for the masterclass, both for members and non-members. I have to take action now. So I believe that those that have already marked the date, I already have paid, and those that are not letting you know that you will not miss the discount window that will be closing on Sunday midnight by God grace. On this note, I say thank you. For those that are taking profit, it's part of the market. For those that are waiting to take advantage of the pullback to buy, it's part of the market. See you next week Monday. For others, we'll meet tomorrow at the pay question and answer session by 12 o'clock tomorrow. Say bye.